fears or deep-seated insecurities or past failures that are overly influencing your present decisions. We need to recognize these things in our lives before we can begin the courageous work of moving forward. Try this. Take some notes for an entire day on how you are spending your time between the big projects or commitments in your life. Don't just write down, I worked on writing my paper today, or I spent the day preparing for my weekend trip. Write down all the things that distracted you from writing or preparing that day. Again, be honest. I went to the post office. I chased the neighbor's dog out of my yard. I compared my failure with someone else's success. I ate a Pop-Tart. Keep it real and admit you had 3. Distractions like these make up the minefield you're in right now, not the one you think you're still on the perimeter of. 1,000 such unnoticed distractions are getting in the way of your joy and preventing you from living with the kind of focused purpose that will produce the life you are longing for. Don't feel bad about all the things that have been grabbing your attention. We all have become distracted at some point. It is somehow built into our operating systems. We become distracted from our goals and greater purposes by our temporary circumstances. We can be distracted by each other and even away from God and what we really believe to be true. Sadly, the boatload of goodness we could bring to the world is being scuttled by the many things that carry us so far away from the dock, we can no longer make the leap back to shore. We get stuck in the past, worry about the present, or get distracted by the future. We no longer lean into our lives right where we are, but instead lean away from them and become individuals who bear little resemblance to the people God intended us to become. I started a retreat center called The Oaks with some friends in Southern California and was filming a series with a fun and really creative group of people. They explained to me that they had a final closing scene in mind where they would fly a couple of cameras in by drone and capture me holding a bunch of balloons while standing on top of a 60-foot tall water tower on the property. All I needed to do was climb up to the top. It sounded like another really dangerous idea, so we got started with the preparations right away. The water tower is on a big hill covered in waist-high brush, and we took a small road to the top with dozens of brightly colored helium balloons. When I got to the base of the water tower, I looked up at the dozens of rungs leading upward. This wasn't going to be easy. The wind was blowing pretty hard, and as I looked up, I was completely engrossed in counting the rungs, planning my moves, and thinking about how I could get myself and the balloons to the top in one piece. If I fell, at least I could land on the balloons, right? I continued to stand at the base of the tower for a few long minutes, looking up and puzzling together all the details I thought would be necessary to navigate my way upward. For no particular reason, I broke from my upward stare, glanced down, and discovered a coiled rattlesnake at my feet. Yikes! Had I been bitten, this would have been a much better story. I wondered whether I was flexible enough to get my ankle up to my face so I could suck the venom out. I'm not going to lie, it would have been quite a power yoga move. I slowly backed away. Thankfully, I wouldn't have to pull a hamstring to save my own life. This episode got me thinking. Sometimes we are so busy looking up and looking forward, trying to figure out the next moves in our lives, or looking backwards at all the places we've been, that we don't look down and figure out where we actually are. In a sense, we've all been bitten by something just as poisonous as that rattlesnake, the massive number of distractions around us. We live much of our lives struggling for focus, unsure of how to interact with our family or friends. We fret about our popularity and our faith. We question our college majors and career choices. Sometimes married couples wonder about their choices too. Did I pick the right person? Am I the right person? Who changed? Me? You? Both of us? And what do we do now? No wonder we're confused. We arrive as babies, placed in the arms of parents who are complete amateurs with no owner's manual and usually no clue how to raise us. Most of us start broke or broken, and some of us stay that way. Some strike it rich, but then accumulate a distorted view of their wealth. Still others never find healing in their search for wholeness. Add to this that we're following a God we can't see, for a lifetime we can't measure, to a heaven we can't comprehend, because of grace we didn't earn. Again, is it any wonder we're all a little muddled?